Let me break down the sketch for you so that you can understand what's going on. And in fact, I want to focus on the bass clef only. What holds this whole piece together is the root cycle 2 ascending. And I've marked it in red right here. So you can see that I just go up by 2 chromatic steps from bar to bar. Here from the B, don't worry, I'm using the octave position of the D flat or the C sharp because I wanted to stay in the bass register. And from here, I just continue with this root cycle 2 until I hit the starting note, which was the G. The root cycle 2 on its own does not sound like great diatonic music. So it's a good idea to use the circle of fifth or the root cycle 5, as we call it in interval magic, to connect our root cycle 2 to some of those spots that are neighbors on the circle of fifth. So here the G is actually a neighbor of the C on the circle of fifth, and so is the D and the A. And this way, you can create a diatonic feel to your root cycle 2. Let's have a quick listen to the bass. The next step was to make sure that the connections over the bar line are smooth. And there are 2 ways you can do this. You can either use a small step between the 2 notes, and that is either 2 chromatic steps or 1 chromatic step right there. Or you can use a pattern that you introduce. This E goes down to the D flat, and that is 3 chromatic steps down. And you see that I'm repeating this pattern here. So again, we go 3 chromatic steps down, 3 chromatic steps down. So one of the most beneficial starting points is use a cycle other than the root cycle 5. And your music will immediately sound unique and different. And this is just one of the things that we interval magicians do. Also, the treble follows a pattern. And I leave it up to you to find it. But if you need help, just Google Circle of Interval Magicians and you will find us.